Welcome to Yoga Biz Studio, a weekly broadcast of 10 to 30 minutes in length, hosted by me, Keeley Mitchell, from Z Living LLC, and my colleague,
Carla Wilson, owner of Wilson Media Services.
In which we will share business, legal, and marketing insights for yoga studio owners and independent yoga teachers. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the importance of using video in your yoga business, and how that can actually help promote you and bring more students in the door. So without further delay, I will hand this over to Carla.
Fantastic. Thank you, Keeley. Before we dive into this episode today, of course, this is I guess the new marketing term is, this is my wheelhouse, talking about using video in your business. So, of course, I'm very excited to talk about that. But before we do, I wanted to share with you something we hope to do on a monthly basis here at Yoga Biz Studio, and that is where Keeley and I visit local studios in our geographical area, and we ask a few questions of the studio owner. So our inaugural yoga studio visit is with Susan Sluck of Eat, Drink, Om Yoga Cafe in Westchester, Pennsylvania. So without further ado, bear with me one moment. I'm going to put up the video of Eat, Drink, Om. Keeley, just to confirm, you see my face now, correct?
I see yours, and I don't know if everyone saw that or not, so I'm kind of a little worried.
Okay, I certainly hope that they did. If not, we will have a copy of Susan's video in our blog post at yogabizstudio.com. And folks, don't forget, we would love to do the same type of tour for your studio as well. Just reach out to us at yogabizstudio@gmail.com or reach out to us on Google+, Facebook, Twitter at Yoga Biz Studio. We would love to hear from you. Keeley, I must also admit that I have the wrong set of notes up, so I will have to take some direction from you.
Not a problem. Actually, showing this video is a great lead-in for today's discussion. Using video in your yoga business. Carla has some amazing information to share with you today. I'm all ears as well because I do my Z Talks on YouTube. And I know there's a lot I need to learn. Just as legal terms makes Carla sweat, this technical stuff makes me so anxious. And I always joke and say how I need to hire someone who will do this for me. But I know how important it is. And I know by doing my videos, I do have people come up to me and say, oh my God, I saw your video and that was so helpful. So I know there's a lot of positive in there. So Carla, can you get us started on today's topic?
Sure, absolutely. I think I'm going to start with the why you should use video in your yoga business marketing, and also basically the what, like what kind of videos you can use. So let's start with the why. The first why is that I've done a lot of talking on video marketing. I've spoken at probably 4 or 5 events over the last 2 years, and so I always like to share some statistics, like really eye-opening statistics about video. As you know, Google is the #1 search engine. The second most popular search engine is YouTube, which is also owned by Google. So I typically go to YouTube's statistics to bring you this kind of information. So on YouTube, there are 1 billion unique users per month. That's billion with a B. That's a lot of eyes to be looking at video. The other piece of data that I like to share is that 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute, and that has increased. I can't do the math that quickly, but when I made a presentation about this time 2 years ago, that number was 48 hours of video were uploaded every minute. Now it's up to 100. 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. So just think about that. Again, how many eyes there are watching videos on YouTube. So what I love to do is help businesses get a piece of that pie. How can I create an online presence in video marketing on YouTube? The other thing that I like to mention about video in someone's marketing efforts is that Google and the search engines in general like websites that have digital media on them. Digital media meaning audio and video. So anytime a website has video or audio in addition to its blog or its other information, that's given precedence in the search results. So that's why I always try to encourage my clients to create video, post that to your website on a regular basis. It's good Google juice. It's good in general. And for some, creating video, I know, well, I say for some, and what I really mean is for me, creating video is much easier than writing. I get very intimidated when I have to sit and write a blog post. But, for instance, when Keeley and I do our Yoga Biz Studio shows like this one, it's so much easier for me to go back and write a blog post after we've done this video, and then clean up my writing from there. Again, in your marketing, some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like to watch. So you really need to cater to all of those different formats when you're creating when you're creating marketing in your business. So another reason to use video, because you want to, you really want to be able to have another avenue to reach your audience. The last point I wanted to make about video is it's cheaper than print ads. It's so much easier, even with an initial equipment investment. If you decide you need to invest in more video equipment, it's still going to be cheaper than any kind of print ad subscription that you have to place. So I hope that I've given you several reasons why it's a good reason to start using more video in your business. So let's move on to the what. Like, what kinds of video can you be using in your business? And that the video we showed of Susan Sluck, that was what I'm going to do for her now is offer to, while that discussion was really some questions we as yoga business consultants asked her. Those first two questions, what is your yoga niche and what led you to yoga, that would be a really easy way for her to build rapport with new people that might want to know about her studio. So that would be kind of like an introduction video for her website. That would be one thing to consider. Another might be to do short asana videos. Maybe you're showing the correct alignment for down dog. Maybe you're doing it on more of a teacher training level and you're creating videos that would help you show how to do assists for down dog. You might want to do a video trailer that explains an upcoming event that you're hosting. Hint, hint, Keeley, I think we might need to do that for our November event. And then you can do something that, speaking of Keeley has a great YouTube video called Z Talks. Each week she shares what I call her 2 minutes of brilliance. And sometimes that might go up to 5 minutes or a little longer depending on the content, but just think about it. Anybody can talk about anything for 2 minutes. Just try not to overthink what the video should include, and you are more likely then to create it on a regular basis. Let me see what else I have listed here. I have listed a vlog post. So of course I try to get clients to blog, which is a written format on their website. But if you create a video post, I call that a video blog post. So we call that vlog for short. And I think, Keeley, can you think of anything else? Oh, I guess we also had written here a meditation. Like maybe you want to share a few-minute meditation video with somebody. Can you think of anything else?
No, I think the main part is how I look at videos, and I got amazing, amazing advice when I was starting out from another yogi who does marketing. It was a great way for people to get to know you. As many of you know, it's yoga, it's very personal, and our connections with who we study under is who we really connect with, who we feel most comfortable with. So by doing the videos, it's a great way for people to get to know you, and it's a great way for you to share what's important to you. So if you're focused on the asanas and doing them properly, then that's what you want to focus on. Maybe it's you want to give a quick talk about what's coming up at your yoga studio, whatever it is. It's actually a chance for people to really get to know you and why you're so unique, and be able to connect with you in a different way. I actually have people who come up to me because nearly, if you catch my Z Talks, it's just like, I don't know, an afternoon. I found time away from the kids and it was quiet, so I could film it. But it's not like I don't have full makeup on, and I hopefully I do it as though I'm talking to you, as though we're friends sitting in the living room, and people can identify with that, and they've said actually, like, they appreciate that. So, at least your personality comes across, and I think that will help draw people to you and connect with you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for that input. I think that's really helpful to get people on this path. I did write a question here for you. Are there some legal concerns that people should be aware of when they're creating video in their business?
Of course, the law shows up everywhere.
Yes, it does.
Usually here, Carla and I, we'd be picking topics, and I'm like, oh, there's a legal issue with that. Um, the main legal concern I'm going to address today with videos is when you use videos that have your students in them. You cannot post a video that includes your students without their permission. It's best to get their permission in advance. And, if there's multiple students in that video, you actually need to get each of their permission before you actually post the video. And there's different ways to obtain their permission. You can ask them to sign a release for every video you shoot that includes them. So, if you film one day on Sunday and then, 2 weeks later on a Monday you film another video, you will have a release for each time. And pretty much that release is them saying they're allowing you to post the video and use it for your promotional needs. Another way you can do it, and those of us who have children probably have seen this, it's kind of like a blanket release. The person signs it once, and pretty much what they're agreeing to is when they're getting your services, there are times that you might videotape them and then use them for promotional purposes. And it's kind of a blanket release. They just sign it and saying that anytime you want to videotape them while they're taking a class, you're allowed to do so, and that they're okay with that. So, some people prefer to do that, so it's less paperwork. It's more environmentally friendly, so you're not killing as many trees. And you can include your release when you do a blanket in your general paperwork that students sign generally when they first come to your studio. And it can be something as simple as, when you're going through, if you're asking them for their contact information and things of that sort, that you put in there, a short little paragraph about signing a release so that they can videotape you and do a promotion. One thing I want to highlight about that is I personally like to see a separate document that addresses the release. Some people actually include it all in, it might be a paragraph within, the waiver of liability or an informed consent. And my concern is that oftentimes it just gets lost in the mix and people just start signing off and not really realizing what they're signing off to. And people can be really funny. I mean, despite that I do Z Talks and I do Google Hangouts with Carla, I hate having my picture taken. I hate, being in a video, believe it or not. So, you might get me who's really funny about it, and if I missed it, I'll kind of feel like it was buried in the language and I kind of missed it. So I always like to see my clients do a separate release so that it's very clear that their clients know exactly what they're signing off on. And I am going to try and get up as soon as possible a sample release for all of you to look at that can be used for your purposes. As always, please note that the release should be edited to meet your specific needs and the applicable laws of your jurisdiction. Sorry, I have to put in the lawyer. If possible, have someone, a legal professional review your release prior to use. However, I will say this, if you're not using a release at all, I'd rather you use my sample and have some type of protection versus just going out there free willy with nothing. So I will try and get that up with this. When you go back to look at our video, it'll be kind of a link to a sample release that you guys can take a look at. Okay, so now that I've covered the legal aspect, I want to hand this back over to Carla for her to cover the how and where of using video for your yoga biz.
Yeah, this is like the meat, I think, of the presentation today, because I think folks think that they need to invest a lot of money in equipment, and I guess what that's part of it. Well, if you're like me and you like to shop, it's kind of fun to look for equipment and say, "Oh, I can get this camera, and I can get this microphone, and I can do." Really, you don't have to get that deep into getting really high quality equipment unless you were doing video production on a regular basis and you move to a point where you're like, okay, I'm feeling really confident about my video. I want to move my production to a higher level. Maybe you want to create a whole DVD of video, maybe of a class or something. Then maybe you want to consider investing in equipment. But for initial video marketing purposes, you probably have something already that would work just fine for video marketing. For instance, and I believe I confirmed this with you, Keeley, you just use the web camera, the built-in web camera on your laptop, correct? When you do your Z-Talks recordings.
Yes, I went through that fear of I had to have special camera and all of that. And once again, the person when I was starting out who really advised me to start doing videos, she said, no, you can just use the webcam. And so that's what I did. I started using the webcam. As I told Carla, you can use your phone too. Be careful if it's a smartphone because they have HD on that and it's really close up, very different from the webcam. So if I use my phone, you're going to see me with makeup on because it's up close and personal. So.
Yes, that's true. Keeley does bring up a good point. And she's so gorgeous. I don't know why she's so worried about it being in HD and she doesn't have makeup on. Ugh, she doesn't need it. So yes, definitely you can use the built-in webcam on your computer. You could also consider using your smartphone. I was not well prepared. I thought I had it right out here. I typically have a video camera that I use is called the Kodak ZI-8. It is nice because it shoots in HD and it does have an external microphone input. However, don't always necessarily use an external mic with it because it's a great little camera. I spent $150 on it. It shoots awesome video. I've used it to create client videos. They unfortunately don't manufacture the ZI-8 any longer, but I know that I still find them on Amazon and on eBay, and they're probably even cheaper than $150 or whatever. I think their most recent model is called the Kodak Play Touch is I think the next version. And the great thing is that it shoots in, a couple of different video formats for you, and it just makes it easy to create video and then move the video from the camera to something else, whether it's to your computer to move it to your computer so that you can get it into video editing software if you're going to do that, because that's sometimes the concern. If you're buying this equipment, then you've got to you may need to invest in video editing software to manage the type of video file that's created by that video camera. Whereas if you're just using the built-in webcam on your computer, then you can use built-in editing software. Typically, I know my PC laptop came with Windows Movie Maker. Mac people have iMovie that they can use. And there's actually YouTube. I've not used it myself because I've got the other software, but when you upload your video to YouTube, it kind of gives you a little bit of editing capability as well, trimming the front, trimming the back. And I think, Keeley, on some of your videos, you've added graphics of the URL you're talking about and things. Am I correct?
Yeah, Movie Maker scares me. So
yeah.
You can hold my hand through that one.
Yes.
I upload, and YouTube has some very basic ones. I don't go crazy. I use it to just put my name there so people know who I am. And then if I ever refer to a URL, I'm able to type it in and post it on there while I'm talking. So people, if they need to write down the URL or they make sure that they have it down the way I said it. But I've seen other people go a little bit more. I mean, there's so much more that you can do with YouTube, like enhancements. I think once or twice I've changed kind of the lighting because it seemed dark when I did it, so I was able to lighten the lighting on it. So it just depends. But YouTube has it all built in that you can play with.
Awesome. That's great to know. And then the last resource I wanted to tell you about, and it's obvious because we use it every week for our show, it's Google Plus Hangouts on Air. Keeley and I, there are two of us in this Hangout on Air as we're recording, but there is no reason why you couldn't do a Google Plus Hangout on Air by yourself. It's just you and a video. You know, you could just angle the computer in a certain way. Maybe it's you on a yoga mat or you doing a guided meditation. It's really a fantastic resource. And for me, I think the brilliant thing of it is that, you know, it's Thursday. It's now 2:30. We started at 2 p.m. We're live streaming this video. But once we hit stop broadcast, actually, I should clarify something. We're live streaming this video not only at Google Plus, but we have it on our Yoga Biz Studio website. It's also streaming at our YouTube channel, all at the same time. Mm-hmm. Then when we hit stop broadcast, YouTube does its processing, so it may take about an hour, but after about an hour, anywhere that we put that video code, that video can be watched later on. And again, we didn't have to do anything but put it there once. And, you know, again, it just makes for very easy production. It makes for consistent content to your website or to your Google Plus profile, which again is good for search. Hello. So again, I would definitely be remiss if I didn't suggest this is a resource that I'm suggesting to all of my clients. And guess what? It's free. This is free. If you have a Google account, you have access to Google Plus Hangouts on Air. So, you know, right now, and of course, because I am a gadget girl, I have sometimes used an external, here, I'll show you what microphone I use. I have this fancy microphone that I use USB into the computer, or I use a separate external web camera. But again, not necessary if you don't have it. So definitely consider that as a resource as well. So now we've talked about the why, we've talked about the what, we've talked about the how. Now, where do we use this video once we've created it? So let's think about that. You create a video, and initially, you know, you think video, you think YouTube. Well, great. So the video can go out on your YouTube channel, or Vimeo. Vimeo is just another video host. It's not as big as YouTube. But what I like about the Vimeo web hosting service is that their video player is very clean. It's not YouTube's, as you know, has a lot of times will have ads that play either in the beginning, or they have, you know, here's other suggested videos. It's just kind of busy, whereas Vimeo's video player is very clean. There's just a play button at the bottom, and it's very clean and easy to use, easy to watch. Where else could you use that video? Push it out on your social media channels, Google Plus, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you know, anywhere that's it's going to be helpful for you. Like we do, post it in your newsletter. You know, another way, again, you know, you might not have audience members that will go to YouTube to watch a video, but they open up your email newsletters that you send out every other week or once a month. That is another perfect place to put this video, even if those audience members are not going to YouTube to watch video. And you may want to, I did mention this earlier in the show, you may want to consider creating a product. Maybe you want to consider making, you know, a 15-minute asana practice that it's something you want to, you know, share as a digital download on your website that people can pay for and download. So definitely there are many other places. Keeley, can you think of other things?
Phone's ringing.
Happens.
Hold on 1 second. I mean,
okay. Yeah, so again, your website or blog, your newsletter, your social media channels. No problem.
Gotta love live. I normally remember
live broadcast.
I generally remember to do that, and today I did not.
No problem. Have I missed anywhere? Your website or blog, your YouTube channel, newsletter? Have I missed anything?
Yeah, no, those are all the places I push out. I use Z-Talks for social media. I use it in my newsletter, on my website. You can find them. So those are the areas I'm covering.
Okay. The only other, the last thing I wanted to cover about this is when you do create video and you are pushing it out on these different channels, do it at different times. Maybe you have it posted to your website on Thursday, and then next Tuesday you're saying, oh, look at this great video I just created. You know, just it allows you to extend the exposure. You're not like pushing it out all on one day and then boom, that's the end of it. You can put it on your blog one day, push it out on Twitter another day, put it out on Facebook another day, because these are all separate postings. People prefer different, different networks, and prefer to get their video and their information in different ways. So push them out on different avenues so that you can really take advantage of getting full use out of that video you created.
I actually thought of another area, which I've actually done this too. If you ever have on your website, you have a free giveaway, like people come, some people have ebooks, some people have whatever it is. I've actually incorporated in some of my 3 ebooks just a clip from a YouTube video that I've done from Z Talks, just to like kind of go, hammer in what the topic was in the ebook. So, I've done picking your business name, and then if you go into my ebook, there'll be a little write-up on picking your business name, and then I'll have a link to the Z Talks that I did about picking your business name. So that's kind of another way. It's material you can constantly recycle and use in different areas.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's something I really like to impress upon folks, is that do not plan on using content once. Use it many, 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 many different times and in different formats. That way it's not as intimidating when I say, hey, let's create a video for YouTube. And someone goes, oh, what do we do the video about? Well, let's take a look at this, blog post that you wrote, and let's see what we can, we could probably get an idea for the video or use what you've written as the script for the video. So that's really what I like to help folks with. Again, Keeley, I'm without the notes, so I need your help to find out what's next.
Not a problem. We are going to move on to our today's takeaway segment. So for today's takeaway, we want you to shoot a video. The video could be like an intro to your yoga business, explain your yoga style, what students can expect when they come to you, why you chose to open your yoga business, why you're so passionate about teaching. Share whatever you like, but remember, making videos do not need to be expensive, and it does not need to be perfect. To get started, you can use the webcam on your computer, like I do, or your cell phone. And as someone advised me, I keep referring back to this person, but when I started out, your first few videos will not be great. But they don't have to be. It's about great content, and oftentimes we're very self-critical and we're highly more judgmental about ourselves than other people are. So as long as you have great content, no one's going to care that it wasn't this perfect, beautiful production. Of course, over time, you'll get better and your videos will improve. Even I feel like I'm getting better and better, and at least I hope. At least I'm getting more comfortable in front of the video.
Yes.
So.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, we would love to see what video you shoot and post out there. We would love to help you, and we would love to help bring more exposure to your studio. So please, send us links to the videos that you create, and we'd be happy to share them with our audience as well. Keeley, what is our topic for next week's episode? Have we chosen that yet?
We have. Next week, I actually like our discussion. It's going to be how to get yogi butts on the mat. So you guys are going to want to hear about this, because that's what it comes down to, is getting the yogis on the mat so you can teach them and you can have a successful, profitable business doing what you love. So tune in for next week. Please feel free to message us with your questions, your show ideas. You can email us at yogabizstudio@gmail.com. You can visit our website at yogabizstudio.com. And of course, you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter under Yoga Biz Studio. But please share whatever ideas. Also, if you had a problem you had a problem seeing the video we showed of Susan Sluck and Eat, Drink, Own Yoga Cafe, it will be posted up on our website, so you'll be able to watch it from there. So I think I covered everything, Carla.
Fantastic. Yes, Keeley, I appreciate you doing that for me. Since we've not been without technical issues today. So I thank you for helping me along. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you tuning in. And be sure to check out our website at yogabizstudio.com. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.